Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Her Hoop Stats podcast. Today's Tuesday, February 10th, and we are coming at you for a little, chat about some women's college basketball action that has happened this week. I'm pumped. I just got Noah Khan tickets, so
I'm so happy for you.
riding that.
I can tell you're riding the high right now. You're ready to go.
No, I said this year, I was like, I want to see two people in concert, Noah Khan and Harry Styles. Harry Styles is not coming to Canada. And so I said, Noah Khan, it's on you. And he put every kind of protection on those Ticketmaster tickets. And I got them. And we're riding that energy. But we're going to bring that energy to be talking about some of the women's college basketball games. Dude, it's February 10th. And that means that, freaking regular season is ending real soon.
Close, yeah.
I feel like most of these teams only have like a handful of games left. And for some of them, like, doesn't matter, meh. Like, I mean, if we're talking about UConn, like, they're resting people now.
Gino said that there was tightness in her leg.
Yes, sure. Look, we both know the NBA and the WNBA. We know. It's not.
There was tightness in her leg.
There's tightness in.
Why would Gino ever lie to us?
Yeah, why would he lie to us? Yeah. So I mean, for teams like that, but like in conferences like the SEC and the ACC and the Big Ten, where like things are so tight. I was talking with Brittany last week about how tight the Big Ten was. You're more of an SEC guy, of course, because you're following Oklahoma pretty closely. You're just kind of in the region as well. So, I mean. Let's just start with it because we'll get it over with fast. Oklahoma played last night against Vanderbilt, number 5 Vanderbilt. And it didn't go well for one team. I mean, that's how games work. One team loses.
Well, here's the thing: when you really think about it, I still win because Vanderbilt has. I have been on this bandwagon for a while now, before this season, and continuing on now. And I just feel vindicated.
Yeah.
No other feelings about this game at all. None. Just vindication. Just pure happiness for Vanderbilt.
We've been on the Vanderbilt train for over a year. Like we've been here. We bought the stocks early. And even as things changed with the team over the past year, like we were still there. We didn't sell our stocks. We were ready. And yeah, now it's paying off. Sometimes Sometimes the life of an investment means that you have to watch Oklahoma lose 102-86 on a Monday night in
honestly
Nashville.
A relatively forgiving score. And if I'm being honest, it was bad. It was bad for OU last night. The defense. The defense. Aubrey Galvin, legacy game. If you want to talk about trying to make a push for Freshman of the Year awards, I think she's more than doing that. We'll see how that goes. I mean, you have Aaliyah Chavez on the other side who really struggled in this game, ends up shooting 0 of 11 from 3. Not great.
Rough.
Not great. While Aubrey Galvin goes off for 30, 10 of 15, 3 of 5 from 3. Was fantastic in this one. Just pure. A player that can really go and like dish the ball out was just pure score last night. In a way that I don't know if we've seen her like kind of fully activated like in that mode in that way. And I thought that was like super fun to watch, and a player that
efficient as hell.
Yeah, I really think over the course of the season the two players that have like really I'm a point guard watcher at heart. Like that's just like where my eyes kind of gravitate to, and Galvin and Jada Richard from LSU have been two of my favorites to watch over the course of this season. And this is something that I feel like I knew Galvin was capable of doing. Like I'm not surprised that it happened, but we haven't fully seen her go off in this way with a career high. And Michaela Blake's also at 34. Just in addition to one guard scoring 30, Michaela Blake is still doing the Michaela Blake thing where she just absolutely can't miss and scores. And 13 to 23. Honestly, not the best night from 3 in her career. 3 of 10, like still not awful, but like.
But if she can, I mean, she's a sophomore.
Like Michaela Blakes is ridiculous. Aubrey Galvin is ridiculous,
Michaela
and
Blake will be a Toronto tempo.
Michaela Blakes is probably at the. It's getting harder and harder to deny the National Player of the Year aspect with Michaela
Yeah.
Blakes.
That's so
It's
true. Yeah, yeah.
like
That's a whole other
there's
conversation.
it is but like it's getting hard to deny,
No,
and
because so many people are like, "Sarah Strong, Sarah Strong, Sarah Strong," and I get that, number 1 team,
mhm,
undefeated,
mhm.
but, like, they're pulling the 2019 Kawhi Leonard on Sarah Strong right now. Not that she's hurt, but, like, they're just, like, minutes restricting her and, like, because they don't need to like, UConn does not need to deploy their team at 100%.
Yeah,
There's
it's
maybe
kinda
been 2 instances this entire season, and so because of that, sure, if Sarah Strong needed to be playing at 100%, she'd be playing the best in the entire country, but Michaela Blakes is arguably because she's playing more and in these situations where she needs to step up for her team, I would say arguably maybe has the edge in that conversation.
yeah, I definitely think there's a legit argument to be made there for it. I feel backwards doing it because not to make it about men, but very quickly, I just did this last year with Shea, where I'm
Uh,
like,
you
he's the
know I'm always
MVP.
down
He
for
doesn't even have to play in fourth quarter because he's hooping in the beginning. I'm
yeah,
like, oh
yeah,
damn. Well, now here I am, kind of doing the opposite.
yeah. No, I
Like,
get
and so like
it's
I
nuanced.
honestly can see both ways. To like I that's not me saying that like I would have a problem with Sarah Strong winning by any means. And I don't
No,
even fully know, frankly, if I like where I would vote right now. Like if I had a vote, I
yeah,
don't. If I
I
had a
don't
vote, I don't know exactly where I would go with it because I think that I like to try and think in the hypothetical of at times when it is close like this, and I'm like,
yeah,
okay, if you take this player off this team, what happens to this team?
yeah, they're not
UConn gets
getting
significantly
yeah,
worse.
yeah,
Like,
significant,
let me make that clear.
yeah,
But imagine where Vanderbilt would be without Michaela Blakes.
nowhere.
Like, and right now they're number 5 in the nation, and they now play Texas on Thursday with the chance to truly go and announce themselves. You missed your opportunity. You missed your shot against South Carolina. You got destroyed.
Yeah,
Flip
fair.
up here. You now have your chance against a Texas team that we're also going to talk about, and I have thoughts on Texas after the Kentucky game. But
You have the chance to be a top 4 team in this
yeah,
in
and that's something that we haven't seen any team crack at any point besides the teams that have been in the top 4. Like that has been the same top 4, and there has been to me a relatively pretty clear top 4 tier, and like you could break that up in whatever way or whatever order you want to.
Yep.
But like to me, the final 4 last year looked like they were poised to be the final 4 of this year. But this game right here, where you have 2 guards activated in this way for Vanderbilt, if you're going to go and beat those teams, this is what it looks like in a whole lot of ways. And I mean, it certainly helps. And they still like have like the craziest, most efficient night, with 45% from the field, 35% from 3. But it just felt like they didn't miss a shot. Like that's how it felt watching that game. Like every time that they needed a shot, or if Oklahoma made any type of like slight run or whatever, where it's like because OU stayed relatively close in terms of like oh, they could make a run type of like mindset. Like they were never close in terms of like actually like coming back. But every time that happened, Vanderbilt just deaded it like immediately. And that matters, like when you're just stopping momentum in this way. So I am incredibly intrigued to see what Vanderbilt one of the momentum they take from this game, but the lessons from the South Carolina game. How do you take that when you have Texas coming in to Vanderbilt, playing at Vanderbilt? How do you handle that, and what does that look like? Because again, like LSU had the opportunity to do so against Texas, they weren't able to do it. Vanderbilt now has the opportunity to do it against Texas and be able to jump potentially into that top 4 and open this up a little bit more to potential legitimate national championship contenders across the country. Again, outside of the Final 4 that we saw last year, that every indicator is saying that we're kind of going back to this year.
And, like, honestly, maybe this I think it's closer, like, I'm not just gonna say this is a sweeping prediction. I do think it'll be, like, a great game, but I would take Vanderbilt. I don't
Ooh,
know if that's, like, kind of a hot take.
ooh, ooh.
I don't know, like, it's, like, a big
Well,
moment. Michaela Blake has
I'll
won.
tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. And I have one more point to make on this game before
Yeah,
we go to our next one.
yeah,
But
let's do it.
depending on what Texas looks like, because if they look like the game against Kentucky, they absolutely have a shot. If they look like the form that they were in against LSU and against Oklahoma, I that to me is still a tier above. But I do want to make one more point here on
Yeah,
Oklahoma before we move on to that Texas Kentucky game.
yeah.
I don't think at any point since Reagan Beers has arrived in the city of Norman,
Yes.
I don't think I've ever been more frustrated at her lack of involvement shooting the ball compared to how it was last night. Like, she ends up with 10 shot attempts. She ends up with 9 makes. Every time she touches the ball, it goes in the rim.
Yeah.
It goes in. And yet, especially in that first half, when things were pretty obviously and quickly not going well and going bad fast,
Yeah.
the immediate solution should have been get the ball into Reagan Beers. And that did not happen in the way that it needed to.
You know what this kinda reminds me of?
Huh.
You know, like, last year when Caitlin Clark got out
Mhm.
and everybody's like, "Pass the ball to Leah Boston."
Mhm.
And then it took forever for us to for them to kinda do it.
Mhm.
And then you in any game or anything where you, like, pass the ball to Leah Boston,
Mhm.
it, like, worked, and we were like,
And
"This
it's
is what."
like your clear advantage in this game too. Like
Yeah,
Vanderbilt's bigs like have been productive and were productive in this game. So like this isn't directly a knock to them. But like when you look at the Oklahoma roster and you look at the Vanderbilt roster,
yes.
who has the best big? It is obviously Reagan Beers. And this has been something that like you saw like the intentionality in the South Carolina game in terms of getting her involved early. And I there has to be I understand wanting to play fast. I understand that this is the way that Oklahoma has played since Jenny Baranczyk arrived in Norman. I get that. It works. I get it. But there has to be a pivot. There has to be a mode switch, a gear shift. Whenever things are going too fast and you're out of control and the
Yeah.
shots aren't falling, there isn't that right now. It doesn't exist right now. And I
Her only
think,
having 10 attempts is wild to me.
yeah, yeah, especially when
And
she's making them all.
it's
Like,
like, okay, I get Chavez has 19, cool, fair, like, sure.
mhm,
But then, like, you have, like, 2 other players that have more attempts than she does.
yeah.
And
No,
I'm
I
like,
mean,
"No."
and
What?
yeah, no, it's frustrating, especially given that Reagan Beers has had foul trouble like at times over the
Yeah,
course of the season. Was it fouls out of this game?
yeah.
If you know that that's potential that's going to happen, use her when she's on the court. And
Go to her first, like, just, like,
yeah,
start, like, go,
yeah,
go, go,
that
and
would
then
that
go
would
with.
be that's my biggest thing I think I'm taking away from this. The defense is one thing. Like you ran into a buzzsaw of perimeter scoring for Vanderbilt. Your defense wasn't good enough, but also like those are 2 very, very good scorers. Like to some degree, I could be like, okay, like not this is out of your control, but like sometimes when scores get hot, like again, they didn't make life difficult for them, but
Yeah.
like to a
But
degree, not
also,
that I can excuse that, but like that's not the takeaway from this for me. It's
um
that it's with Beers.
yeah, as someone who doesn't get much college basketball in my location,
Hmm.
I'm looking at the fact that they shot 8% from 3.
Hmm.
Is that normal?
Not normal, but I I wouldn't say it's like how do I word this?
Unprecedented?
Yes, that's a great word, Chelsea. I wouldn't say that like it.
You'd think it's
I
my job to come up with words.
well, you would think it's mine too, and I was struggling there. Like yeah, 8%,
8%.
correct. Yeah, no,
Okay.
you're reading it right.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
would say it's 8% is bad. I would say that. I don't know how many times 8% has happened before, but there's
yeah,
certainly bad shooting nights, generally speaking, across my time covering Oklahoma women's basketball,
uh,
um, including covering this team.
yes.
So
Um,
yeah, I would say not completely unprecedented. Yes.
okay.
Mhm. Mhm.
Time to move on.
Please.
Yeah, we'll put you out of your misery talking
Yeah,
about your
great. Now I get to talk about Texas.
yay! So another game that happened, Texas versus Kentucky. Obviously, I mean, like, the idea that Texas wins this one isn't like obviously Texas is number 4 in the country, like, it's whatever, but,
Mhm.
um, yeah, this one was just, like, looking at the box score looks interesting, like, what was your takeaway from
Oh,
it?
I got plenty of
Oh,
box score
you got
takeaways.
takes.
Oh,
You got
100%.
takes.
So here's the thing. Texas really annoyed me in this game, actually. Texas really did. Coming off of their win against LSU, I thought they were going into that game. I thought they were in some of their best form since at least Thanksgiving, when they beat South Carolina UCLA. I thought they were in their best form in that Oklahoma game. In the second half of that LSU game, it was just working. It was working in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
This game annoyed me because I felt like they went away from the things that were beneficial to them. Let's just look at the box score, okay? Your eyes, generally speaking, whenever you open a Texas box score, should immediately jump to Madison Booker. In this game, Madison Booker takes 6 shots. 6!
Worse than Reagan Beers.
6! 6 shots! And this is someone that, like, you should lead your team. It should, like without a doubt, every time, it shouldn't even be a question.
Yeah.
And she was at 6 shots for a minute in this game.
Yeah.
Texas goes through a lull offensively in this game, which happens. And they normally are able to dirty up the game enough defensively where they can win games, they survive games, like they do what you got to do. That's not what looked like was happening in this game, and yet Madison Booker was still not taking shots. Whether that's a team thing, whether that's a Madison Booker thing, I don't know. But Madison Booker has to shoot the ball. Has to.
Yeah.
And then you go down the box score just a little bit more. And you'll see another number that stands out. That's 4. 4 minutes for Aaliyah Crump, who was hoping against LSU. She doesn't come in during the first quarter, comes in during the second quarter, does have quick turnovers. I want to like I am okay with her having those 4 minutes, being like, okay, hold on now. We're doing a bit much. Let's go sit down. But then she never came back in.
Never came back.
I don't believe there was any type of injury designation or anything, not that I have seen. So if no. I will hand up, be wrong if that is what happened here. But what do you mean? You're struggling to score in the second half, and you have your player who Vic Schaefer was just saying, I was at the game, I was at the LSU game, in the press conference going, she has the it factor. She has the confidence. She has like everything that like you see. It's Roy Harmon and Madison Booker next to him. He goes, what you see in these two players, Aaliyah Crump has it. That player, like I thought I was going mad. Now in this game, it was a different plan of attack. It was a different successful attack for Texas when it was working. Justice Carlton was fantastic in this game. Like Jordan Lee was putting shots up in a way that she wasn't putting shots up in the LSU game, which is where Aaliyah Crump kind of filled in. But if you can't score, put the scores in. Like, you're not losing anything defensively with Aaliyah Crump. Put the scores in. And again, if it's an injury thing, I will eat my words on that completely. Because I didn't see that.
No.
And like I don't know anything. I don't know any other reason besides coach's decision.
Wouldn't they say that? Or it's not.
Again, I would think. And I
haven't covered much college basketball.
Yes, they would. Generally speaking, they would.
Yeah,
but normally it would be like after the game, and it's not always like in game. It just depends. But generally speaking, yes. So I'm assuming that is not what happened here. Again, unless I missed it, because there was a lot going on last night. I was watching OU lose. So if I missed it, I missed it. But I don't see 4 minutes to me is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Frankly. 6 shots for me for Madison Booker is just ridiculous. And again, when it's one thing if you're rolling and like the offense is humming and like it is just working the way it's working and you go with it and you go and win by 40 and you just go and do it. Ask Vanderbilt. It can feel like that sometimes. But that's not what's happening here. Like that score right there, 11-point win is friendly to Texas. Like this was a game that was tight for a lot of it. And Kentucky, to Texas credit, wasn't able to make many shots. And like they were turning the ball over a lot. They ended up with 23 turnovers. That's why Texas wins this game. Is because of the same disruptive defense that Texas is known for. That's what they do. It's how they survive these offensive lulls. I get that. But I hated the process and then the lack of pivots from the offense in this game in a way that it felt like to a degree we had kind of gotten past a little bit with Texas in the sense of, okay, Madison Booker is rolling. We're good with Booker. Okay, she's kind of slowed up. Okay, boom. Aaliyah Crump. Boom. Jordan Lee. In this game, it was Justice Carlton for a lot of that. But then it slowed up again. And there wasn't that next kind of player in line in that way, whether it's Madison Booker, who never got rolling in this one, being kind of like the next wave of scoring in this, or if it's if it's an Aaliyah Crump coming off the bench just to help with spacing, like I was just again, especially coming off that game against LSU where Aaliyah Crump was phenomenal in that game. I was shocked to see the minutes here, and that left me annoyed.
See, like, my thing here is, like, Texas has always been that kind of team that, like, tries to play that two-way game, doesn't score as much, but, like, tries to just, like, make sure the other team doesn't score more, like, that's kind of their game plan, and if you go back to that Vanderbilt game where Michaela Blakes is scoring 35, upwards of points, and then you have someone else scoring 30 points, that right there is, like, more than the average Texas game to begin with.
Yeah, they almost did outscore Texas, actually.
And
like
they
in that,
did. If you look at
actually, no, they tied. They both
did.
like Galvin and Blake's tied Texas with 64 points.
Yes,
Last
okay.
night.
She had 34, not 35.
Yeah, here's the thing. One, different defenses you're gonna be playing.
Yes.
Two, I will think to that point though. I do think when you look at especially early in this game when Kentucky was rolling, it was the 3-pointers that were falling that made the difference. And you look at Texas, they end up shooting 3 or 14. Kentucky goes 6 and 14, but they start off hot. I mean, Asia Boone started off this game. I think she was 4 for 4 from 3 when she started off this game. Ended up 4 or 6, kind of slowed up in the second half. It was again credits Texas on that because you're able to adjust.
Yeah.
But if that happens again, how do you adjust against who I would deem better scorers in that player Michaela Blakes and potentially if Galvin is able to get rolling. But I will note Galvin, I'll be interested in how she kind of handles the additional ball, like the pressure that Texas can bring. Because I thought at times she felt sped up at South Carolina, but notably at South Carolina, like that also makes a difference that Vanderbilt's playing at home when it comes to those margins, if you will. So I'm interested in that. But to me, goodness, I mean, just get the ball to Madison Booker. I mean, it doesn't like Madison Booker's mid-range shot is arguably the best shot in college basketball.
Yeah.
Like if you're talking about shots that outside the paint, like in terms of like the things I'm like, hey, that shot's going up, it's probably going like in my head, like that's going in every time. Yeah. She can rise up over anybody. Certainly against Vanderbilt.
1 for 6 from the field.
Well, I will blame that on Texas. Not that's but you know what? I don't care.
Not giving her the right looks.
I don't care. But yeah, no, it's just you have Madison Booker on your team.
Yeah.
Like
do something.
Do something, man. Yeah, I was frustrated. I was annoyed with that one. Like I was not happy watching that. And like I was just pure confusion on both the shot attempts and Aaliyah Crump. Even though again, credit to Justice Carlton because she was like rolling. And like I don't mind riding the hot hand, but there's degrees to that, I feel like. And I think Texas went away from maybe what had been working some, where Aaliyah Crump had been solid, like in the ranked games against the unranked games since she's come back from injury. Her only getting 4 minutes is not what I'm trying to see, frankly, from Texas.
Yeah, rough. I'm like that Texas Vanderbilt game is like low key one of, I think, maybe one of the most important games of the season. For these two teams, obviously it is, but like in the grand scheme of seeding and like stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, for Vanderbilt, you're talking about the potential of going up to a 1 seed. We'll have to see how the SEC tournament plays out and everything, but like that's what's potentially on the line here. And Texas has a very, very strong resume at this point. But like you also can't ignore beating the team in front of you. And that's what Vanderbilt has a chance to do. So I'm very excited for that one. Between that one and then South Carolina LSU this weekend, like we have opportunities for SEC teams to like truly go and leap potentially into the top 4, and we could see, because to me, if I would have UConn and UCLA in their own top tier right now, and then Texas and South Carolina in their own top tier, like within the top 4, and then there's everybody else below them. If anyone could get up into that second tier, it'll be one of these games this week that allows them to try and do so. So I'm stoked. I'm ready for it.
That's wild. And I mean, it's just like the fun time of year that's coming. It feels like, I don't know, things feel weird obviously this year, as we've talked about many times, but we're getting into the good part of college basketball, which is exciting.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, this is all we're going to touch on for today. Thanks for joining us for another episode of the Her Hoop Stats podcast. I'm Chelsea. This is Tyler. I don't think I said that at the beginning. I was too excited about Noah Khan tickets.
It's okay. I completely
understand. That's okay. They know our voices.
Way more important Way more
way
important.
more important things than
Mhm.
knowing who we are. Um, if you like this, subscribe. Make sure to check us out on herhoopstats.com, social media as well. And we will be back tomorrow for another episode of the podcast.